which also tells me that this happened somewhat before we even finished the Barbie car.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy. See, that's why I'm so glad we're doing this, because memory can be so valuable, especially mine.
Fallible.
Yeah. Welcome to the History of Grind Hard, episode 2. If you're looking for episode 1, that's Sent and Bent number 85. But now we've talked about kind of where we were at in life when we started Grind Hard Plumbing Co. And now we get to move into the videos and basically grinding out Grind Hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we kind of went over a fair bit of the, building of the first Barbie car in that first episode, rallying it around. So
yeah, we kind of talked about the strategy on releasing that video, but since we released it done before the actual builds, what we haven't talked about yet is the actual build of that project.
That's true.
Because to me, still like Ethan, is cease to amaze a word? Like, even though I've spent so much time with you, you still do something, and I'm like, geez, that is just crazy.
Oh, well, cease to amaze would be that I've stopped doing that. Never cease to amaze is the saying.
Yeah, there you go.
Cease to amaze. I'm old news.
Yeah,
boring.
Well, I guess the thing is like, even though I've spent so much time with Ethan, there's still things that I'm just like, wow, I can't believe that. Like how hard you sent the jump on the double dirt bike for a recent example.
Yeah,
like the second time. Like in the first time. But one of my first experiences like this, as far as Grind Hard's concerned, was I came up here with the Power Wheels and the go-kart, and you were like, all right, just bring it up and we'll figure it out. And you were like very confident in that. And I was like, had no idea how things really get built.
Yeah. And then I saw the go-kart, and it was just the most atrociously horrible go-kart known to man.
This twin, was it a twin or was it a single?
It was a
just
parallel twin.
Yeah.
It was a Honda, some sort of Honda CB engine. I think it was like a 350 or something, parallel twin. And that was mounted in the back of this. At some point it was just a manufactured, probably kids go-kart, and then people got a hold of it. There was a bunch of really overkill heavy duty square angle iron.
It's like as if they were going to put a much larger motor behind it.
Yeah. Or I don't know, this is like a lot of poorly thought out. One of my favorite things about it was that the brakes didn't work. And I started figuring out why the brakes didn't work. And there was a piece of hose that didn't look like it was brake line. And I pulled it off of there and looked at it, and it said, for refrigerator water supply use only. So it's just a refrigerator water supply line, and they thought, yes, that'll hold the pressure of brakes.
That's hilarious. I had no idea. Oh, is that the line right there?
I think it's in the, it's, no, that was still us getting it running. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did eventually get that engine running, and we were kind of contemplating whether it was worth trying to use it, but it just made no horsepower. It was a sad, sad little engine. And
it was really way too big for what we were trying to do.
Oh, absolutely. It was way too big, too heavy. It was a terrible, terrible engine for what we were building. But
wow, look how much wider your driveway is now.
Yeah, and taller.
Yeah.
And just all sorts of things. Yeah.
Yeah, so that first episode was really getting the go-kart running and going on like that. And again, we had started it with the idea of doing this all along. So we actually documented it pretty well, like the build progress of it. And so when it came to actually building it, and Ethan had decided that this motor was not it, he brought over his dirt bike. That was his only dirt bike, his personal dirt bike that he rode, as the CBR 230.
CRF. Yeah. Honda CRF 230. It was the third motorcycle I owned as a teenager. I bought it when I was probably 14 or so. So at this point, I'd had it for over a decade, and I didn't have friends that really rode dirt bikes anymore, so I wasn't I wasn't really riding it because riding by yourself is really lame. So I was just like, well, we'll just borrow the engine from this. I was like, we'll probably just put it back when we're done. Like, this Barbie car thing isn't going to be something we're going to want to use forever. So we'll just use the engine in that. And then when we're done, we'll throw it back in the bike.
And he did it so nonchalant. And this was the part that really like blew me away, is he rolled it up and he was like, oh yeah, let's use this one. It'll be much better. And I was just like, of your own dirt bike? Just, like, even though like at this point, there was no proof that this idea was going to work at all as far as like YouTube and things like that.
Wow, I look so young.
I know. We both
Who is
do.
this baby?
Yeah. So I was just absolutely flabbergasted that you were just going to pull the engine from your dirt bike for this swindly little project. And basically all the other scraps of steel and everything, like, I don't think we bought anything else.
No, we didn't buy anything for
it was
that
just
go-kart.
that go-kart and the Power Wheels body.
Yeah.
And you just had, and I remember being like amazed with the amount of like scraps of steel and stuff you had laying around.
Which is funny because I had like a tiny fraction of what we have now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for a little context with pulling the engine out of the bike, I'd had that engine in and out of that bike probably 6 times at least at that point, because when I shortly after I got the bike, I was like 15 and I worked a fair bit, so I had money. And what else do you spend money on if you're that age than your dirt bike? So I got a big bore kit for it. I put a cam in it. I did, I just did everything you could do for that little engine. And so I'd had the engine out to do that. And then the big bore kit, it turned out, was only for race gas, and I ignored that warning. So I blew it up a couple of times and then, took it apart and put it back together. And I ended up fixing the blowing up problem. Actually, kind of a funny solution to that being, a teenager. I figured out that, or I realized that obviously if it was meant for race gas, it's higher compression. And so running pump gas, it would ping or detonate under, heavy load when it was hot, and you could hear that happening. So I'd just, I'd ride it and it would go ring, ding, 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 and or kind of a, more of a clattery noise, but it's kind of hard to imitate with your face. Anyway, I knew what that was, and so I'd kept trying different things, and after I properly blew it up, I actually only blew it up once. I just kept taking it apart and changing stuff to try and get it to not blow up. What I ended up doing is that kit came with a solid copper head gasket. It's like probably almost a 1/16 of an inch thick for the big bore kit. Well, since I'd gotten a new one, they actually sent me a free replacement, even though it was kind of my fault that it blew up. But anyway, what I ended up doing is just taking that spare copper head gasket and putting it in for the base gasket as well. So it just spaced the entire cylinder up just a tiny bit, and it never had a problem again because it just lowered the compression just that little bit that it needed.
And that's as it was when we were all the way through turboing it and all that.
I mean, that engine still runs. It's in.
Yeah.
We later repurposed it again for the cop car Power Wheels we did when Sam was with us, so it's still in there.
Which actually was totally intact. I think we just
borrowed wheels from it or something.
Some kind of electrical thing it wouldn't start.
It was. I don't remember. We had that. We did have a few random electrical problems with that.
Yeah.
With that engine, and also fuel supply was always an issue. I think that was the main reason that the cop car one never worked quite right, because with the original Barbie car, what worked so well is that we just did gravity feed. That's why it has this stupid giant wing on the back, because I didn't want to deal with a fuel pump, so I just put the tank above the engine.
Yeah, and then we just painted it gold because it was that ugly blue.
Yep.
When we did the chrome accents on the wheels and everything, it really set it off.
Yeah, and it was the fuel tank off of that crappy go-kart.
Yeah, which is probably why it always leaked.
Oh yeah, it leaked forever. But
like the back of your shirt would always be gassy after riding that thing. I remember that.
Oh yeah, because it would just splash around. It was just like the cap was just a piece of metal with a little pinhole in it and a piece of like paper in there, basically to quote unquote seal it.
A funny thing about this era of videos as well is we didn't have fiber optic in our town yet. So even like driving to the library or the coffee shop, it would still take so many hours to upload a 4K video. So all of this batch of videos on screen and just our first handful really were from my 5G mobile hotspot on the treehouse.
Yep.
What do you call the porches by the treehouse?
I don't know, just little platforms.
The little
treehouse, the little platforms in front of the treehouse.
Because the treehouse itself didn't have all that good of service, but one of the platforms on the very edge, I like bounced my phone on the edge and just let it rip all night, sometimes 2 days straight for some of the longer ones. I wonder if like subconsciously that's why our videos were so short in the beginning. I was like, we're not going to be able to upload it any longer.
Yeah, I mean, we also just weren't doing anywhere near as much per video back then. I mean, it was, And
I forgot we did a video early on the treehouse. We were just like hitting every viral thing we could off the bat.
We were just like, well, if we want to, I mean, you know, this is the second treehouse that had never really been shown on YouTube.
Yeah, I love that shot.
Yeah, it's a cool shot.
So cool. Yeah, because the 360 one you built for the TV show.
Yeah,
I guess we never really talked about that part of Grindhard's history, and we probably should because
yeah, I mean, I'll try to be brief with that, but I mean, obviously there was the treehouse era, and we kind of hinted on that a little bit on the last episode, I think. But before Grindhard started, I built a treehouse. It went viral with the elevator thing that I built for it. And long story short, that led to me being on a reality TV show that was very not reality, as a lot of them tend to be. But the premise was that myself and my friend Asa lived in tree houses like survivalist style, you know, like we just had hunted with bows and lived in the middle of nowhere. And so anyway, we built this treehouse for the TV show, and they didn't have really any sort of guidelines on what the treehouse needed to look like, because they knew they saw the other one and they're like, yeah, and we want you to build. The storyline was I already lived in a treehouse. Asa was like, wow, this is cool. I want to do that too. And then we built his treehouse for the show, kind of, right? So we had already built another treehouse for a local family that lives on the lake here, and that one turned out really nice. Like we had, we were paid to do it. We had a budget, and like we were building it at somebody's lake house, so it's a very nice treehouse. So after that, and after the other one that I'd built, collectively we learned a lot of things about building tree houses. And so we kind of put all of our ideas into this one when we were designing it. And more or less by accident, we came up with this idea of making it rotatable, because we were basically trying to design the ultimate attachment system for a treehouse, in our opinions, And
what's the criteria for that? Like, doesn't kill the tree, obviously.
Yeah, and I was really obsessed with this idea of making one that's just friction based, that just clamps onto the tree and doesn't actually drill holes into it. Not because I thought it was actually necessary. I just really wanted to prove that was possible, basically. And then the other factor was allowing for the flex of the tree, because around here, most of the forests have been logged multiple times. The trees are not that big. We're talking, 18 inches in diameter at the base, maybe, for, the types of trees we're dealing with here. So, like, if you were over on, the west side of Washington or Oregon, you've got 3 foot diameter, Douglas firs just everywhere. Those don't move much in the wind. But what we're building in, also because we're a little bit nuts, we always wanted to build the tree houses as far up the tree as possible. So we're not talking like 6 feet off the ground. We're talking 20.
Yeah.
And that far up the tree moves a lot in the wind. And we pick a tree that's,
it's kind of amazing they can hold that weight. When you look at them, you're like, that tree doesn't look built different enough to hold up that tree house.
Yeah, they're not very big, but they're very strong. But that's why we picked the species Western Larch, because they're the most flexible and strongest strongest tree, and they also are one of the least prone to disease and drought and all the rest of that. They're very hardy. The other main criteria that we were trying to solve, or the problem we were trying to solve, was tree flex. So how to build a 2-story tree house that would allow the tree to flex inside of it without tearing it apart. Because basically, either the flex of the tree is going to tear the tree house apart, or if you build the tree house rigid enough, now the tree can't flex and it'll probably break in the wind, because that's how they survive the wind, is by bending. So anyway, that is what led to the rotation idea, because basically we were trying to imagine kind of a ball joint sort of mounting system was our concept of like, it can just move a little bit when the tree moves, but it only attaches at the very top. So if you want more details on that, you can go watch the episode that we're talking about. But anyway, we very much overbuilt it for the TV show. And the funny thing is, we didn't tell them we were doing any of that. We just like waited till they got here and they were like, yeah, we got the attachment system ready for the treehouse. It's all, it's all built. It's ready to go. And we're like, yeah, this is how it's going to work. And we had it like clamped onto a random post to demonstrate it. Mm-hmm. And we're like, yeah, that's really cool. And then I was just like, and I just took my hand and spun it around. And I don't think really anyone got it at first. Like I had to explain. They're just like, okay. I'm like, no, the whole treehouse is going to spin.
Yeah. The History Channel people lacked the creativity on that one.
Yeah. So anyway, but the point is we never really, until we did on the Grind Hard channel, I never made a video on it because that's not entirely true. I did make a video where I strapped a chainsaw to the bottom of the treehouse and cut down a tree with it. So, because the treehouse rotates, there was a tree that was too close and it wouldn't allow the treehouse to spin all the way around. So I just strapped a chainsaw underneath the porch and then had a little string to pull the trigger on the chainsaw and then cranked the steering wheel and spun the treehouse around and cut the tree off. So
awesome.
I did make that video on my old personal channel, but other than that, it had never been shown. So we're like, well, this is a cool thing. We might as well make a video on it.
Absolutely. And even back then, we were talking about not getting pigeonholed into souping up children's toys. Like, it's interesting how much foresight we had and like confidence we had that this was going to work, because like we really put a lot of work into this before seeing $1 or like having any kind of confidence it was for sure going to work. You know?
Well, I mean, yes and no, right? Because like most people who start a channel do the same thing, but they grind it out for many videos or years before seeing any significant views. Like, sure, we didn't make any money, but our first video we posted had 1 million views. So we're like, oh, we can do things people want to see.
Yeah, clearly people are going to like this.
Yeah.
This was a really fun one, too. This was just when we were testing it. Were we testing it out on the road before the grand finale video, our first video? Or was the first time we really tested it was in that, besides in your driveway?
I don't remember. Yeah, no, I think that was kind of the first time we tested it on pavement was in that our first video.
Yeah.
So I think this would have been afterward. I don't remember what we were trying to Oh, this was the day we were doing a top speed run. Remember we did that video where like we did it as like world's fastest Barbie car.
Yeah.
So we wanted to see how fast it would go.
And then we ran into these guys and they were like, "What the heck are you doing?" And then they ran up and got their Odyssey.
This guy just walked up. He had like a mechanic's outfit, like he'd been working at a mechanic shop. He comes up and he goes, "What the hell did you build here?"
And they really wanted to race it. I was like, heck yeah, this is the dream.
So they brought the most clapped out Odyssey.
Oh yeah, flat tires and all.
In history. And we started the race on a bridge, allegedly. Race is, heavy air quotes because it was not... From the POV of the Barbie car, he never left the starting line.
Exactly.
Man, that makes it look so fast.
Also, action cam technology has come a long way. Look at the jello in that shot.
That is gnarly.
That was a session 5, I believe. Yep. Look at that.
Yep.
Session
Hero
5.
Session. Yeah.
Wow. Those actually ended up being a sought after item because for FPV, it's like they're so much lighter than regular GoPros. And people take out the batteries and make them even lighter.
This was before I realized that we needed to make the brakes less aggressive.
Yeah.
Because it had one master cylinder, but it had 2 calipers. And that was from when it had that ridiculous heavy engine on the back. But this is also how you ended up flipping it into the ditch.
Yeah, I think that's the next video.
Same day, though.
You probably noticed that when I was doing the drag race drop of the hat, I was wearing sandals. And I think I was like way more of a hippie when we started.
Where did that video go?
It's here. It's right here.
Yeah.
Because when we first started Grind Hard, I I was like barely even wearing shoes. Like it was like hard to talk me into wearing shoes. And so I had these sandals and I read Born to Run, and Steven and I were like running miles in the snow and stuff. And
you guys
like,
were so...
we were so into it. And
Yeah.
Born to Run is a sick book, but it doesn't mean that you as a non-ultra marathon runner should run without shoes. I probably hurt my feet, but but yeah, even driving the Power Wheels, like I'm wearing a full face helmet, but also sandals.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No, not really.
Yeah, and kind of what we were doing like in the beginning, like the Mustang videos were doing a lot better than the other stuff we were doing. So even though we filmed all this stuff first, we were kind of like slowly letting it out over time, like letting the videos come to an end in their virality before we posted another. Like we didn't just want to be the Mustang, the pink Mustang guys, you know,
and kind of like trying to bring in other stuff in between, so people weren't just like, oh, this is the only thing they do. You know,
look at this one. I'm such a nerd. I put my drone in the thumbnail.
Yep. Well, I mean, the title is Drone Races the Barbie car.
You know, that concept has later been used by Red Bull to make their most viral video ever, except it was world's fastest drone versus Formula One car. But,
nice.
You know,
I mean, slightly different, but
a little bit different, but you know, the base structure of the story can be found there. But yeah, that wasn't my best day.
Yeah.
I'm really lucky I didn't cut my feet on the way out. There was not a lot of polished fabrication on the inside of that body.
It was pretty crude.
Yeah.
You know, if there's one thing we've learned over the years of doing all this is that small, sketchy little Power Wheels things are surprisingly good at ejecting the driver before rolling or in the process. Like ejecting you in such a way that you're not underneath it when it lands.
Yep. So to go back to like the chronological order here, this really goes to show the random order we were posting, because we did the Underglow episode where we put like the FET wide body kit on it essentially, but we did the 10K celebration, but before the first bus video came out.
What? That's hilarious.
Yeah. Like, so you'd already built this. We show it in the video, and
that's funny.
And so this bus is this used to be my dad's bus, and
look at how much grass was on top of the hill back then.
I know. I've actually totally noticed that going through these old videos. Like, this is before we were just
rallying
drifted
everything.
your house into a dust bowl. But yeah, so basically I was like, one, I could move out of the treehouse / your house and into my own house and live wherever it's parked. And my dad didn't need this bus anymore because he didn't have the school anymore. And so I got the bus from my dad and gutted it. And then like even putting in the floors and stuff was with you, because we were like, this is going to be like a grind hard project was the idea. Because van life was really popular at the time. Yeah,
I mean, at the beginning, we called it the party bus because we were going to like just build it to go like do trips to Moab and stuff.
We've just been teasing a company vehicle since literally day one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Ethan was like, I bet I could do donuts in there before we put the flooring on top of the subfloor, you know?
Yep. And I did manage one donut, surprisingly. Yeah. I don't know how I thought it was going to be easier to do more than that, but...
Man, I wish I had that Kid Ambrose shirt. So sick, proposing with a slice of pizza. So yeah, that's how random like our initial posting was, but our 10,000 sub celebration, and then we get on to what I believe is the actual second project in real life, which was the crunchy taco. And
I mean, you know, I think we did start the bus before we started the taco.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, because if you look at like, I mean, obviously not that that's all chronological, but I think...
Yeah, no, I could see it.
Because like where the bus is in this video and stuff on top of the hill.
Yeah.
Like basically as soon as we had the taco, we were rallying it all over the place and making a mess. So
we're like basically started the channel with abandoned cars on my dad's house.
See, here you go. Look, in this one.
Oh yeah, the bus is in the background.
Right. So we had already.
Yeah. You're right. So
But yeah, no, I mean you're not wrong at all. We actually did start the channel with cars abandoned on your dad's property. 3 of them, in fact.
Yeah, 3 of them. Yeah, so here's the since this was first chronologically, it was like full of mold, completely destroyed, and
Yeah, it had like 200 and some odd thousand miles on it, and a bajillion hours. You can see the mirrors just duct taped in place.
Yeah, my dad's not easy on machines, and neither are 16 to 24 teenage boys in a boarding school.
Oh, and somebody had launched off a fire extinguisher inside of there too.
Yeah, it was also pretty vandalized. Like, yeah,
for no like clear reason or no reason that I know of, somebody just emptied an entire fire extinguisher in there. It had never been on fire. It had just been extinguished.
It's just when you're bored, then you do. And this
we still have some of that. We still have a lot of that, actually.
Wow, we've used this in so much stuff. Ethan's like, this is good aluminum. We're going to keep this.
Yep. Yeah, and then we proceeded to use it in the Barbie car, which also tells me that this happened somewhat before we even finished the Barbie car.
Wow, yeah. That's crazy. See, that's why I'm so glad we're doing this, because memory can be so valuable. Especially mine.
Fallible.
Yeah. I remember this, like deciding if we should keep the heat or the AC and stuff. And we were like, Yep. It was like we weren't sure exactly what we were going to do with it. But yeah, just this part was kind of more normal conversion stuff, like floors and stuff and swag party.
Wow, you wrote swag party with glue on the floor. That's
it was the party bus, clearly.
Yeah, well, it was gonna be. It never actually was the party bus. Oh, that's a cool POV saw cut.
Oh yeah, way cool. Zoop zoop zoop.
Nice.
So then the Ethan elevating the idea, which is really what happens around here since day one, is what if, because there's these big handicap doors, and he was like, what if we make a porch?
Yep, a fold-out porch.
And so this was really just like, I thought this was wicked cool, and we had like mad thoughts that this bus was going to be like the next big viral idea.
Well, or at least that we were going to use it a lot. One of the two. Mm-hmm. Neither of which really panned out in that case.
Neither of which panned out, but Ethan did indeed build a dope porch.
I did, yes.
And it totally worked. It was awesome. And then eventually my wife and I, the girl, as she's known on Grind Hard, was, oh, wow, house remodeling is in this one of your house.
Yeah, because you use those boards for the
for the
siding inside the bus.
And there's the drift car.
Yep.
The dream that kind of led us down this path. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we whitewashed the boards and put in a floor, and that's probably the last time she skateboarded. Oh no, there was one since then, and it didn't end well, which is why that's not happening anymore. But yeah, no, it's basically we did that, built this cool bed in it, and then we ended up not using it and sold it, and then it had some kind of coolant leak, and it overheated like 5 minutes down the road from here when we sold it.
Oh no.
But it just had been a slow leak over time. But the bed folded up. I mean, it was pretty cool for sure. But by then, I think we knew that we were going to make enough money with Grind Hard for me to just rent someplace in town.
Well, I think the real problem was that you tried to stay in it over the winter, and it was extremely cold.
Very cold.
That ended that dream pretty quickly.
Yeah, so that's the short bus era.
It was a short bus era.
Mm-hmm. So the first rowdy Grind Hard non-Power Wheels project was the Crunchy Taco.
Yep.
And this one was super funny because, again, we're just kind of using these abandoned vehicles that the boarding school students had left on my parents' property.
Yep.
And there was this one, and I knew who owned it, and had been there for like so many years. Basically, he had gotten this truck at like a used dealer, and swerved for a deer super hardcore and rolled it, I think, a couple weeks after having it. And then it sat on my parents' property for years in this condition. That's like just smashed and bashed, man.
Yep.
And so we went up there with, is that Aza's trailer?
I think that's Chris's trailer, possibly.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I'd even met Chris at this point. Maybe I have. He must have come up and said hi eventually, but
I'm not sure. Or maybe that is Aza's trailer and it just had bedsides on it that it doesn't have anymore. I don't remember.
But this is the condition the Crunchy Taco started in, just all smashed up and missing a door and rusty. And like, it's like he walked out of there just fine, didn't even go to the hospital, which is kind of crazy.
It's crazy that the door's ripped off of it because that takes a lot to rip a door off.
Yeah. It might have not been placed back on very well in the first place, which we'll get to the discovery. But this was another one where, like, in my head, this is how it was going to work. We bring up the trailer. We, like, come along it onto the trailer and drive home. And you get there, and this is kind of even more of a shock than you ripping apart your motorcycle. We get there, and you're like, oh, this is like, has everything it needs to run except for the key. And I was like, I guess so. And you're like, I'll hotwire it. And I'm like, we don't have like service or access to Google or like any way to look up how to hotwire a car. And you're like, no, I know how.
Well, fun fact, I hotwired my first vehicle ever because it was it was actually from Chris when I was like 14. It was a relative of his that had this old Isuzu Pup, which is like a little tiny Isuzu pickup, a mini truck, as some people would call it. Anyway, it had been left up at their, or like not used up at his relative's property for many, many years. And so he just kind of gave it to me, and he was going to get the title, but the relative didn't really care about getting the title. So I never actually had the title for it. But again, it didn't have the key. So to get it running and driving, I only ever drove it around up on the mountain here, obviously, because it was never registerable without the title. But I had to hotwire it because there was no key. So I just, I don't remember. I probably found a wiring diagram for that one. And then I think I bought I got a like one of those manuals you can buy at the auto parts store, you know, a repair manual for it, the Haynes or whatever brand it is. Anyway, so I used the wiring diagram that time. With the Tacoma, I just, you know, had learned a bit more about wiring by that point and just guessed and, you know, figured it out.
Yeah. You figured it out quick too.
I mean, there's only like 5 wires in most ignitions on older vehicles like that. Like it's,
and I'm pretty sure it ripped up right away.
Oh no, it fired up like it hadn't been sitting at all.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't think we even put music in the videos back then.
Oh wow, first try.
First try. Ignition on. So let's see, does it do it with both of these?
And this one, given
Yes,
my research onto like YouTube channels and hey, there it starts.
And that's how it's done. What'd I tell ya? Nothing to it. That blows my mind.
Also, good job, Toyota. Sat for 2 years.
Yeah,
Fired up like nothing.
she's smoking, but of course she is.
Yeah, that's to be expected though, dude. Sitting for 2 years, there's gonna be oil everywhere.
Yeah. So it's just so funny because in my head, I'd done all the like research and I'm like, oh, this little niche Barbie car thing will work, you know? And I was pretty confident in that. This, I was like, even at the time, there's a lot of people trying to do off-roady stuff on YouTube without much success. And that video doing well gave me a lot of confidence. I don't know how you felt about that, but I was like, if this works, we can do anything.
Yeah, and there was a while there where we were just like, oh, we can just do whatever.
Yeah.
And then, like, I think we also got stuck with this really exaggerated idea of how much people cared about that Tacoma.
Yeah.
Because of that video. And then, of course, we had, like, at this point, we had, you know, whatever, 10 or 20,000 subs and like, you know, lots of comments and stuff. So people were like, wow, you know, and Toyota fans are always a little extra hardcore. So we had all these people that were telling us in the comments that they love this thing. And like the first video we did on it did super well.
Yeah.
And then like later after we kind of finished it, we're like, man, why are these videos just doing so poorly? And because we just imagined that it was just gonna keep doing well. But it was really the only reason it ever did was because we were hot wiring an abandoned car, and like there's all this mythology of indestructibleness of Toyotas, and so like it played into that.
The story was perfect.
Yeah.
And then when we were just trying to make it a really cool build, the story was kind of over.
Right.
Like once it was from totaled to crawler, it wasn't as interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we rallied the heck out of that thing, and that was a whole lot of fun.
Yep.
I think you jumped it pretty far too, didn't you?
Probably.
Like we jumped it down the hill, I think. Let's see.
This is pretty much when we like established the original version of the rally track.
Yeah. Just ripping up your grass.
Yep.
Yeah, because your property was pretty mint before Grind Hard.
Well, it was also just like it was less developed. So it was more just grass and, you know, trees and stuff. But
yeah. So yeah, we built that thing out, and I can't think of many like funny stories along the way. I mean, this was hilarious. You unbending the window seal.
Yeah, with a splitting ball.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we forgot to mention that. Yeah, when we were working on it, I was probably this day, we discovered that it had its roof cut off and replaced before it was rolled. So it had been totaled twice, you know, by the time we got it. So, yeah, somebody had cut the entire roof off and very, very poorly welded it back on, and then, you know, done a bunch of Bondo and made it look nice. So the kid that bought it probably did not get a good deal.
Yeah, it was probably a bit of a rip-off situation, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, remember that thing just slamming around without the bed and those completely blown out shocks?
Oh, yeah, it was just bounced all over the place.
Oh, so much fun. This whole process has just been the most fun thing ever. I can't like even imagine a way of doing it in any more fun of a way.
Yeah. And the way we did it at the beginning was like, I mean, what we do now is fun in a whole different way, but like this era was just like, just kind of chaos.
Oh, there's my editing desk.
Yep.
With my giant home-built PC, my foam roller, I still have that.
That's funny.
And the screen I won for editing a rap video for a MySpace competition.
Nice. Yeah, and I filmed this whole video while you were in Italy visiting your wife.
Oh yeah. That's hilarious.
And then uploaded the footage for you to edit somehow or other. I don't even remember how we did that exactly, but
yeah, and I'm editing on your back porch chair.
Yep.
This is outdoor
patio furniture.
Blown KRKs from my music production days. Completely blown speakers. I remember going crazy from the buzz. It took me years to replace those.
That's hilarious.
I've actually only replaced them somewhat recently. Like
nice.
maybe like 2 years ago. So,
but yeah,
wow,
we decided
what a
to
setup.
For some reason, we decided it was going to be a good idea or I probably decided this, to try and do donuts in the Barbie car in my living room.
Yeah, because it's crazy how you were just full on remodeling your house at the same time we were doing all this other stuff.
Yep. I mean, I still am.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you've literally been remodeling your house since the beginning of Grind Hard, but look at those tight drifts.
Yeah, that was fun.
Have you shown Kylie this? We should show her this video.
I don't think she's ever seen this
She'd
one.
probably get a kick out of it.
Yeah. And then I slammed into the kitchen stove. Still have that same kitchen stove. Works just fine. But got a giant dent in the side from drifting into it with a Barbie car, as you'll have.
That's amazing.
I forgot how successful this was. In my head, like I just like kind of failed the whole time to do donuts like I did in the bus.
No, this was full on miniature Ken Block video right here.
Yeah. Inside of my living room, which I do not have a large house.
No, that was super small. Oh, man. On to the next one then. We saw the crash. The wide body kit was funny because we put those buckets on and painted them.
Yep.
And then I deemed the the E46 done enough to release a Grindhard video on. So here's us towing it into Russell's shop, who I bought it from.
And a lot of this footage happened before I was ever involved.
Yep.
This was
again, like what I was saying in the first episode, of me realizing that if you just start a channel working on pretty average drift cars, like no one's ever going to care. And so this was me implementing the idea of, oh yeah, we need to show Chris this clip. Because remember in that podcast, I was like, remember how there's always donuts on that one part of our road?
Yeah.
So yeah, this was me testing my theory of maybe once you build an audience, then you can get people to care about a pretty average drift car, and me learning that you basically cannot.
Yeah. That we learned that very quickly.
Yeah. I think this is still to this day our most underperforming video ever.
Pretty close. I mean, along with we made like that 2-minute video of us jumping the snowmobile over the outhouse.
Yeah.
But that hardly counts as a video. We just that was footage of us just doing dumb stuff before we started Grindhard, and we're like, hey, we have this old footage, let's put it up.
Yeah. Here's the girl driving without a license. Illegal.
Allegedly.
I guess what I was doing wasn't much more illegal.
Yeah. Here's me doing donuts in the middle of the street.
But it didn't turn us away from getting into our next BMW project, but we knew that it had to be a unicorn. Oh, this is still one of my favorite Grindhard videos ever. The Gambler 500 after movie, I called it.
Yeah, I was so confused about what an after movie was.
Yeah, that's because the only people who'd ever know what an after movie is people who go to like the big raves. Because all the big raves back then, they used to call them after movies. It'd be like EDC Las Vegas, the after movie, and it would be like the official film production. Like no one ever called anything an after movie besides an EDM festival until we did this. But I have since seen why can't I think of the crazy BMX party in Florida right now?
Swamp Fest?
Swamp Fest. There has been Swamp Fest after movies and like other festivals that weren't music, but this isn't a festival. This still might be the only.
I mean, Gambler could be considered a festival of sorts.
Yeah.
But yeah, we started with the Gambler, or with the BMW, the E36 as a gambler build. Like that was the whole point. And
it was yet another abandoned vehicle on my parents' property from the boarding school.
Yep. And we wanted to do the Gambler, and we took the $500 car rule very seriously. So we we got this car for $150 because it was, again, abandoned on your parents' property with no wheels, on jack stands. The clutch was completely blown out of it.
Oh yeah. I gotta find that clip because it was beyond blown. Oh man, this thing was the most clapped vehicle that ran you could ever imagine.
And yet somehow just the most durable thing we've ever owned.
I can't believe it started this rough. We're just picking it up.
Well, it was just balanced on 2 jack stands. It didn't even have 4.
Oh man. Yeah, this whole pit is now like a motocross hill climb session.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we brought it over, and the second we pop off the clutch, it's so funny. But you cut it in half before we even got it running again.
Yeah, totally. Because we knew we had to make it interesting.
Oh yeah, why would we take it apart until the clutch came in the mail? We probably ordered the clutch and then ripped it up.
Because we built this whole thing in like a week or something before.
I forgot about our little i8.
Oh yeah,
we were gonna do
another Power Wheels build.
Yeah, and then it ended up being so small we were like never did anything with it.
Yep. But yeah, the inspiration for cutting the back off of it came from Mighty Car Mods, because back before we started our channel, I used to watch them a lot because I didn't have a lot of automotive excitement in my life at the time, so I watched it, which now we're the people that other people are watching for that reason. But anyway, they did that they did a collaboration with Roadkill, and so they came to the U.S. and they took a WRX wagon and turned it into a little pickup bed, and that was where I got the idea to turn this one into a little truck.
Wait a minute. What? I thought maybe It was just a frame. I thought you were wearing a mask for grinding. I was like, did you used to do that? But no.
No. No, I only do that if I'm grinding a lot of paint or something.
Yeah. Oh, here we
Yeah,
go. It
there-
is in this first video. Amazing. This is so funny. You're like, you know how they said the clutch wasn't working?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's you removing the diff so we could weld it.
Yep. Oh, that clutch was
It's just bits of fiber.
beyond collapsed.
It was gone. There was no fiber disc left. It was just
I bet your hands itched for days after that one.
no.
Oh, I remember what I did though. I was filming with one hand and you were like, here, clean this out. And I was like, okay. And I blew it with compressed air and the fiberglass went everywhere. I think it's on camera. There's the disc
Yeah.
completely sauced.
No fiber left. Just the metal.
It must be this
disc that
end
holds it.
that was like, oh, no. Well, maybe we weren't filming that, but
Yeah.
for sure it happened.
Oh,
Oh, here
wait.
we go.
Yeah.
Yep, it's about to happen. Yeah,
Dust
I just
everywhere.
smoked myself, but what an amazing machine, man.
Yep.
So much fun had in that thing.
We should bust it out one of these days.
We really should.
It theoretically still runs.
Oh, yeah, just fine. Yeah, I put the cage on it and stuff, and this we just took our Power Wheels to the local car show and filmed some rat rods. That was fun. But
Which it turns out, as we learned yesterday, that's where Davey learned about our channel first.
yeah,
It was at that car show.
what
Davey
are the
of
odds he's in this
Mechalac.
video somehow?
Probably not. I mean, we didn't
That'd
film
be
like
so funny.
90% of our
Yeah,
interaction.
we more filmed other people's stuff.
Yeah, because we were just like
Yeah.
sitting there with the car, really.
It's funny too because like this was still like people were seeing it in real life that hadn't seen it on the internet, which
Yeah.
is like almost impossible these days.
Right.
But but yeah, now and there is still like it's funny. We did a that 4th of July where you rode the monster chopper and I
Mhm.
rode the Colonel. When I was walking home the next day from town, I saw someone pulled up on their big screen in their living room, the monster chopper, and they were like leaning forward, glued to the screen, like clearly had just heard about it
That's
by
funny.
seeing us go in the parade. So it is funny how like, I don't know, it's just, we are a very big fish in a very, very small pond.
Yes.
But like people,
I'd argue we're like medium-sized fish in a small pond.
well, considering the size of the pond though,
Well,
I don't
yeah,
know.
very small pond, but
Yeah, we're not
you know,
like
people
big.
like Vigo Mortensen also have houses here.
Yeah,
so,
that's
you know.
true. Yeah, I guess we're like definitely a mediocre fish
We're
compared to
pretty-
Vigo.
We're pretty much a little tadpole compared
Yeah.
to him, but
But yeah, it's like still, you know, like everyone knows Vigo lives here. Everyone
Right.
knows that the Kardashians have a summer house in Coeur d'Alene, like, you know, whatever. Everyone talks here about how like Justin Bieber went to our ski resort once, is like how small of a town it is.
embarrassing, man.
But yeah, so the Gambler After movie, I love the mismatched paint when we got the doors and like
Well, the mismatched paint was your idea. We intentionally painted it the
Yeah.
wrong colors.
yeah,
Like we painted the front black and the doors yellow.
to make it even that much more interesting.
Yeah.
Because gray really
No,
doesn't
it was not. But we also had just like
yeah.
a random white rear bumper.
Mm-hmm. But man, was this so much fun just cruising around.
Oh yeah, it
just
was
getting to experience what the Gambler was back then.
in a proper Gambler car that we had only driven
Yeah.
to the DMV the day before we left. We got the clutch in, we drove it to the DMV, got it registered, and then left for a 1,000-mile, more than a 1,000-mile round trip.
And it's just like Gambler's still the coolest event, and we had a
Yep.
great time last time.
Yep.
But there's something about like before influencers made it so popular, or before
Well, I mean,
like
it was already pretty big.
Yeah.
It's just I think it was
it's
more.
huge. I think this was bigger than the one we just went to.
It certainly felt that way.
Like,
but
there's
it
more
was
people.
like
It's just the location.
It
They
was
aren't
the
allowed to use
location.
this location anymore.
it was the location that made it special, but it was also that the way that we did it that had so much to do with it.
Yeah.
Because we actually took it very seriously and we did all the like we got the waypoints and we navigated and we tried to we tracked
super
our
fun.
mileage and we were like, do we actually do 500 miles off road?
Yeah.
You know, and
And there's another BMW there. I forgot
know,
about
yeah.
that.
That was funny.
Yeah. And just seeing all the cars for the first time and stuff. And we had this sword strapped here. I think we talked about it in a recent podcast, but
Yeah.
Azo looked at it before we left and he was like, that's going to be a problem. And sure enough, I nearly cut off my thumb on that thing.
Yeah, you know.
Oh man, what a great time.
Oh yeah, and we met
Chris was there.
B is for Build with his
Jump, what do you call it?
No, that was
the
way before
Corvette
that.
one.
It was I don't know. It was a vet cart, I think he called it, something like that.
Yeah, super cool. What a fun day.
That was a really fun.
Yeah. So that's kind of like the era of what I would consider the OG projects.
Well, yeah, and then like we did random stuff too. Like we took my
legacy.
Yeah, well, it also had the clutch went out on it.
Was this our first lap time? I think we timed this.
We did, but I don't think it was our first because we raced remember when we did like Brat versus Taco? That would have been before this.
Oh yeah, measuring how far you jumped down the hill.
Yeah.
Yay! Dude, that was a nice send.
Yep.
Oh yeah, look, it's already a Dust Bowl. We've only been doing Grind Hard for a year.
Yeah.
Not even.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
no, this was
the
still
rally track
this
is like fully developed now.
But this was still the first like summer, not even a year. Like this was still the first summer that we'd even.
Geez, so we roasted your entire field up there in one summer.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
But yeah,
we welded the diff in this car?
We were gonna, because we were still wanting to try and get into drifting. So I was gonna turn the wagon into my drift car.
Yeah, you were gonna remove the front and
I was,
Yeah. That's funny.
Yep.
Wow. Bonus videos, remember?
Oh yeah.
We used to put the bonus videos at the end of the video. That's awesome.
One thing that is really funny that I remember about the bonus videos is there was one of them where you misspelled bonus, so it just said bones video at the end.
I remember that.
Bones, BOUNS, bones.
And I think when we hit, it was such a meme in the community when we did our 100,000 subscriber live stream. I think that people were commenting like, "Is this live stream a bones video?"
I don't remember that specifically, but it wouldn't surprise me.
This was when we got the range extender.
Signal booster, yeah.
So there you go. From here on out, we didn't have to put the phone in the treehouse to upload.
Yeah. I remember the comments about this, people just being like mind blown about us climbing this tree with no safety gear. And I was just like, what?
The tip of that tree is not there anymore, right?
No, this is after it. This is a few years after it had already broken off.
Oh, okay. That's just grown so much it looks like a normal tree now.
Yeah, it just had all these little tops because the top broke out of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then me zip lining with one hand. Nice.
Heck yeah. Gotta get the zip lines going again after the remodel.
Yeah, I was thinking that the other day. That one's still up, but that one's the least fun of the zip lines.
Yeah, you kind of come into the tree with momentum.
A bit too much, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think a good place to start is like the full-on, fully custom project era of Grind Hard.
Yeah, because this was the era of just like whatever we have, we'll mess around with it and make some videos.
And then it became kind of like we had enough money to like buy parts at this point, I remember.
Yeah.
Like we even bought some steel for the Tacoma, I think, at this point.
Yeah, no, because we bought the roll cage.
Yeah. Oh, and we bought the whole turbo kit. So yeah, I think that's a really good place for us to end this one. And then we'll roll into episode 3 on the custom era of Grind Hard. So this is awesome. I love going through this stuff.
Yeah, it's
I hope you guys love it too. We'll mix these history of Grind Hard videos in with the regular podcast episodes. So definitely subscribe to the Sent and Bent YouTube channel or Spotify and Apple and all that. And we'll be back next week, next Tuesday. Peace.